My camera's a little bit off. We're going to have to fix that. Because this should be the middle. And it ain't in the middle. As you can see. You probably can't tell, but I can tell. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Oh, no. Now there's a little bit of white right there. I got to fix that, too. We got to be perfect. Boom. I have an amazing show for you today. I hope you're ready. I hope that you are locked in. I hope that today's one of those days where Facebook doesn't get in the way, distractions don't get in the way, anything you've got going on in your life doesn't get in the way. Today is one of those shows, man. We've done over 2,000 episodes of this show, and every once in a while, one just has a little extra, man. It just hits a little extra. So let's dive in. I'm super excited you're here. Let's go. Good morning, and welcome to the #1 morning show in America. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to 1, father to 9, author, speaker, and the founder of 800%.life. It's 5:30 a.m., and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Friday. That's right, today is Friday, March 20th, 2026. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Friday, March 20th, 2026. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most, of this absolutely incredible day. Interestingly enough, man, I'm glad that we have this show to remind me every day what day it is. I was working with one of my 100% Club members. I'm getting a new truck, and we were working out the deal, and we've got it all worked out to where I'm going to pick it up on Friday. And so he was getting everything ready for today. I was getting everything ready for today. And then like 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon, I'm like, bro, I'm picking this up next Friday. He's like, oh, I thought you were talking about tomorrow. I'm like, I thought I was talking about tomorrow too. But the reality is I will not be in Ohio till next Friday, not this Friday. It's amazing how quickly at this age, I guess it's an age thing, maybe it's a life thing, but it's just amazing how quickly I can lose track of the days. In today's world, you're going to hear, including on this show, you're going to hear a lot of just decide. You're going to hear a lot of execute. You're going to hear a lot of take action. What's up, Scooby? That's my boy, Scooby Butler, right there. You are going to hear that a lot in the world today, and there's a lot of value to that. But today we're going to go a little bit deeper because those take action, just decide, execute, it's not big enough for today. Those words are still kind of just living on the surface. And today we're going to go deeper. So I'm glad you're here, Scooby. It's great to see you, man. I know Scooby from all the way back, dude, when we were like little kids. So we're in this series this week called Spring Break. And there is something that I've been trying to like extract from the series all week. And I think I found it. Because Spring Break, there's like a bigger idea in here. Spring break equals, I'm going to word it to you this way, spring equals evidence. It's not about just motivation. It's not about just making a decision. It's not about even just action. Spring is evidence. Evidence that what once looked dead isn't dead. Evidence that hard seasons do not last forever. Evidence that buried things can rise. Evidence that life has a rhythm bigger than your current plan, your current pain, your current exhaustion, your current confusion, your current fear. You see, spring break isn't really about taking a trip. That's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. Spring itself has been trying to teach you and I a lesson since the beginning of time. And the lesson that spring has been trying to teach you and I since the very beginning of time is that there is no winter. Write this down if you're a note taker. Clip this if you're a video clipper. There is no winter in life that gets the final word. None. None. Man, what a week we've had. This week, we took something simple, something silly almost. Right? We took something simple, something almost silly, this thing called spring break. Airports are all crazy, people driving around, lots of people drinking and partying and chasing girls and chasing boys and all that stuff. We took something simple, something kind of silly on the surface, something that people usually reduce to, beach trips and stay off my lawn, right? There's places down in Florida, they're like, no more spring breaks down here. They ruin everything, right? We've taken something that has been reduced to college parties and family vacations, and this week we were able to find something so much deeper in it. So much deeper. For those of you that weren't here earlier in the week, Monday, we talked about new beginnings and we talked about 13-month calendars and how it'd be cool or it'd be better if the year actually started in March versus starting in January. Tuesday, we talked about the birth of a new era. We went a little sideways on the AI thing on Tuesday. Wednesday, we talked about how people are meant to come together and how important this is. Thursday, we talked about breaking away from what no longer serves you. Grabbing the steering wheel in this thing called life. We talked about the simple 6-step process to creating a transformation in your life, in your business, all those things. We talked about really, really, really important stuff this week. We talked about how important it is to eliminate, to elevate, and to activate. But today we're going to talk about what spring break really is at its deepest level. Today, we're going to talk about the evidence. But before we go too far, I can dig that. Let's go. Before we go too far, we got to do some dancing on this show. You know what we got to do? Hey! For those of you that know and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button. Because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you, yes, you, to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching this show live or you're watching this show on replay, say what's up, and I'll say what's up back. Does that sound fair? Let's go. Patricia Frudenberg, good morning. Thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate it. It's nasty. Russell Hill is in the building. Thanks for being here, Russell Hill. I appreciate you. Mike Larkin is in the building. Robert Pollard is in the building. Patricia Frudenberg, I already said hello to you. I'll do it again. Marilyn Wilkin is in the building. Tara Hope is up in the building this morning. Mike Rendine is in the building. Young Johnson, Robin Wilshans, both up in here. How you doing, Tara Hope and Greg Becker? Thanks for being here. Luis Grafton Nonis is in the building. Trisha Rue is in the building this morning. Thanks for being here, Trisha Rue. We've got Mike Larkin. Oh, let's go. There we go. Mike Larkin said, I'm dancing like nobody's watching. That's what I'm talking about. Do it. Here, do it again. Do it again. Do it again. We'll just keep going. Maria Michelle is in the building. Spring is my receipt. Let's go. Jeremy Nolan. What's up, Jeremy Nolan? Great to see you, sir. Thanks for being here. Spencer Nicholson is in the building this morning. April Johnson, Dwayne Moser, Frank Knox. What's up, Frank Knox? Drop it in the comments. You say good morning to me. I say good morning to you, Melvin Rodriguez. Hey, for those of you that are watching on replay, thanks so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. I really do. Make sure you drop a good morning in the comments. I'll go back later, and I'll make sure to catch up with you as well. All right? Frank Marshall is in the building. Thanks for being here, Frank. I greatly appreciate it. Who else we got? Did I say everybody's name? There's no way. Oh, there's my boy. Oh, there's a bunch more. There we go. There's my boy, Scooby Butler. Thanks for being here this morning. Michelle Gravely, thanks for being here this morning. Maria Lind is in the building as well. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. Scott Simons in the building. Fist bump. Great to see you, Scott. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. All right, cool. Let's wrap up this week's amazing series. Before we do, I do want to remind everyone that, what's up, April Johnson? I want to remind everyone that we are having a sales workshop. It's a free to attend workshop for anyone and everyone in sales. This will be May 19th and 20th right here in Lexington, Kentucky. May 19th and 20th right here in Lexington, Kentucky. If you go to 800%.life and then go to our events page, you can see that event. You can RSVP for that event. Also want to remind you, join our 800% Life Facebook group. This group just cracked 4,000 members. We just cracked 4,000 members, which I greatly appreciate. I'm excited to do life with these people. We are going to be doing 800% live meetups all around the world. And this is how you're going to find out about them, is over here on this events, or over here in this group. So make sure you're a part of the 800%.life Facebook group. I can see your comments, Marilyn Wilkin. Make sure you go to the 800% Life Facebook group, become a part of that, and let's get into today's show.
Oh yeah, this is the moment, living for the sun, having so much fun.
Glenn Lundy, what do you mean? What do you mean, Glenn? What do you mean when you say spring is evidence? What does that mean when you say spring break is evidence? Evidence of what, Glenn? Spring is evidence that life comes back. Spring is evidence that the light always returns. Spring is evidence that the cold seasons of life do not own you forever. Spring is evidence that what looked dormant, what looked delayed, what looked buried, what looked forgotten, might just be getting ready to bloom. And here's the truth. I think some of us need that reminder right now because, let's be honest, there are people watching the show this morning that have had or are currently in a very long winter. I know that there are things going on in my extended family right now that feel like a very, very, very long winter. It's not an outside winter. It's not an outside kind of thing. It's not the snow falling from the sky. It's not the frigid temperatures. No. This is not an outside winter. This is an inside winter. Some of you are going through a winter in your marriage right now. There are people really close to us that are going through a winter in their marriage right now. Some of you are going through a winter when it comes to your confidence, your self-esteem, your mental health, what you see and what you think about yourself when you look in the mirror. Some of you are going through a winter in your business or in your work, in your finances. Some of you are going through a winter when it comes to your health. Going through it, facing battles. Maybe it's sickness, maybe it's physicality. There are some people watching this show today. There's going to be thousands of people that watch today's show. Thousands more if you continue to share it out, but there's going to be thousands of people that are going to watch this show today. And out of those thousands of people, there are going to be many of them, especially in the way that things are going in the world today. There are going to be many of them that are going through a winter when it comes to their faith, where they're looking up. They're looking up and they're saying to God, like, dude, God, I don't understand how you could let this happen. You must not be real. How can you possibly let an amazing, caring, kind family that has been trying for a decade to have a baby, how can you possibly allow them to get pregnant, to carry into the late into the second trimester, and then lose that baby? How? There are people right now that are going through a winter when it comes to their faith. Some of the people that are watching this show right now are going through a winter when it comes to just holding on to hope. There's wars going on around the world. There's politicking going on around the world. There's the media content that's happening around the world. And I know that you might just be losing hope. Because listen, let's face it, dude. You've been doing the work. You've been showing up. You've been trying to keep your head up. You've been grinding. You've been surviving. But like, if you're honest, there's a part of you that's wondering. There's a part of you that's asking yourself the question. There's a part of you that's waking up every day and you're going, look, dude, is this ever going to change? Is this ever going to change? Why? How is it after all these years, after all this work, after doing all of these things, I'm still living paycheck to paycheck? How is it after all this work, after all of these things, I'm still single? I can't find someone that I love that can love me the way that I need to be loved. Is this ever going to change? But see, here's the thing, man. You see, here's the thing. A lot of those winters that we feel and experience inside, God chooses to represent on the outside. There's my man, Scooby. Good to see you. God chooses to represent on the outside, right? Because we go through these winters. Some of us are in these winters right now. We go through these winters, and then what's crazy is all of a sudden spring shows up. And this hasn't happened just once. This isn't an anomaly. This isn't a string or a streak. No. Every single year after winter, spring shows up. And it doesn't matter how brutal the winter was. I was talking to my friend Kelsey yesterday. They've had a brutal winter up in Michigan this year. We've had a pretty heavy winter here in Lexington, Kentucky. I wouldn't use the word brutal. But it doesn't matter how brutal winter is. It does not matter how frozen the ground has got. What's up, Paulina Jacoby? Thank you for being here. It doesn't matter how frozen the ground has got. No matter how bare the trees looked. No matter how gray the sky felt. No matter what, spring shows up. And spring shows up and says something really powerful. Spring shows up and says, this is not the end of the story. You see, surprise, the trees, the tree looked dead, but it wasn't dead. The field looked empty, but it wasn't empty. The seed looked like it was buried, but it wasn't actually buried. It was planted. You see, there's a difference between being buried and being planted. Big difference. Looks the same on the outside. It looks the same on the outside. The dirt's on top and it's dirty and it's nasty and it's disgusting. Right, Sonia? Being buried and being planted looks very, 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 very similar on the surface, but there's a big difference. You see, some of you have been calling yourselves buried when in reality, you've just been planted. You see, you thought that the rejection buried you. That's what you thought. You thought that the setback buried you. That's what you thought. You thought that the divorce buried you. That's what you thought. You thought that the loss of your loved one buried you. That's what you thought. You thought the addiction buried you. That's what you thought. You thought the betrayal buried you. That's what you thought. You thought the failure buried you. That's what you thought. But what if it didn't bury you? What if the rejection planted you? What if the setback planted you? What if the divorce planted you? What if the loss planted you? What if the addiction planted you? What if the betrayal planted you? What if the failure planted you? What if this whole season that has been dark and lonely and confusing, what if this entire season was not your ending, but actually it was your rooting? You see, that's the thing about spring, man. You see, spring is not random. Spring is revelation. You see, spring reveals what winter was doing underground all along. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back. Spring reveals what winter was doing all along. You see, you thought nothing was happening, bro. You did. You thought nothing was happening. But listen, through all of that, something was happening. The roots were growing. The strength was forming. Perspective was developing. Your character was being carved. Your patience was being tested. Your wisdom was being built. Winter is not empty. It is preparation. So listen, when we talked on Monday, we talked about the calendar, the 13-month calendar. We talked about the year actually starting in spring. When we talked about Monday and we talked about beginnings, we weren't just talking about calendars. I hope you understand that. When we talked on Tuesday, when we talked about AI and new eras and all that stuff, we weren't just talking about technology. I hope you understand that. On Wednesday, when we talked about people coming together, we weren't just talking about social connection. I hope you can see that. When we talked on Thursday about breaking away from the things that don't serve you, creating the who, what, where, when, why, and how systems in your life that are going to move you forward, we weren't just talking about strategy. All week, we were talking about the simple truth that life moves in seasons. And wise people learn how to determine the seasons that they're in and understand that they're not being buried, they're being planted. You see, there's a reason spring break hits people the way that it does. There's a reason that families travel, that students celebrate, that people head outside, that the mood shifts, that the energy rises. Because, see, there's something inside the human soul that recognizes renewal. Even if we can't explain it, even if we don't have the words for it, even if we're just out there chasing sunshine and good vibes and a break from the culture, a break from the routine, deep down, your soul is responding to this powerful message. You made it. You made it. You made it through. You made it through the loss. You made it through the pain. You made it through the homelessness. You made it through the addiction. You made it through the season of being in and out of jail. You made it through the season of loss of custody of your child. You made it. You made it. And that's what spring says. Spring says, look, man, you survived the cold. You survived the winter. You survived the dark. You survived the long nights. You survived all the confusion. And now there's evidence. You see, there's evidence in the worth. There's evidence in your worth. There's evidence in the warmth. There's evidence in the longer days. There's evidence in the blooms. There's evidence in the return of color. There's evidence in the return of life. So listen, today's message is not like, come on, execute, make a decision, do it. No, that's not today's message. No, those are good messages, but that's not today's message. Today's message is way deeper than that. Today's message is don't quit in the winter. Because, see, if you quit in the winter, you're going to misinterpret the season. You're going to think that silence means absence when it doesn't. You're going to think slowness means failure when that's not true. You're going to think dormancy means death, and that's just simply not the case. It doesn't. Sometimes all of those things just simply mean not yet. You see, there's something holy about spring, something ancient about it, something that reminds us that resurrection is built into creation. Renewal is not a fantasy. Comeback is not just possible, it's actually part of the design. Jesus was not in the tomb. He had not been buried. He had been planted. So that you and I, children of God, the God of the universe, you and I, children of God, the God of the universe, can take root and we can rise. So listen, if you've been in a winter season, please do not let the cold convince you that you are finished. If your life feels bare or barren right now, or empty or void or any of those things, don't let those leafless branches fool you. If things have felt quiet, they're not moving the way that you want them to move, do not assume that God, purpose, destiny, momentum, opportunity, or life itself has forgotten you, because that is not the case. And spring is the evidence that life still moves, evidence that growth still happens. I don't know if it's you that needed this Friday, or I don't know if it's a friend that you can tag or whatever. But listen, man, spring is evidence that dead looking things can live again. And maybe that's what you need. Maybe that's what they need. Not a push, not a pep talk, not another one of those go do more, make a decision and just execute and take action. Maybe what you needed today was you needed proof. Proof that hard seasons end. Proof that growth can be invisible before it becomes undeniable. Proof that what looked like loss is actually the becoming of life. I want you to stop. I lost my cameras. Look at that. That's funny. Oh, I everything locked up. Wow. Wow. They did not want you to get this message. That's okay. We still got sound and we're still live streaming. But literally all my cameras, look, all my cameras are gone. Wow, that's amazing. Listen, I'm not going to stop. I want you to stop looking at spring break like an event on the calendar. That's not what it is. I want you to start looking at spring break as the message that it is, a message from creation itself, a message that says the dark will not win. The cold will not win. The barren does not win. The delay does not win. The grave does not win. Life wins. Light wins. Renewal wins. And maybe, just maybe, your spring break is closer than you think. So wherever you are this morning, in a season of bloom, a season of confusion, a season of waiting, a season of rebuilding, I need you to hold on. I need you to hold on and know that you are loved. I need you to pay attention. The evidence is everywhere, all around you. The sun is higher in the sky than ever before. The days are longer and stretching out longer than before. The earth is waking up, and maybe, just maybe, you are too.